Episode 296. Komoi's Axe hungers for wood. We just completed the Alchemist and Carpenter questlines up to level 60. So now we're going to take on the Botanist and Miner questlines up to level 60. All part of our pretend quest to craft some kind of super weapon or something like that. I guess we take it on from the Botanist Guild. We'll pretend this questline is going to help Komoi refine the art of shaping wood or something, even though that's exactly what a carpenter does, I guess. I guess it also ties into the botanist part. Or maybe it's refining her skill in picking out the wood or something. It all plays into each other, that's the point. Oh good, we get these as a reward. We don't really need these survival manuals. Well, I guess they work up to level 70, so would be good for fishing. We can save these. Good day to you, Komoi. It does my spirit well to see you again. Inspired by your words, I've been reflecting upon the relationship between man and forest. I should like to hear your opinion on... Sorry, Fufucha. Doesn't seem like we're going to be dealing with your story this time. Fufucha, I'm back. Have you given any thought to my request? It almost seemed like it was going to continue with her storyline, Fufucha's, from the level 50 quest. But it seems like we're just going to go off to some other part of the world and deal with someone else, just like we did with the Alchemist and Carpenter questlines. Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't know you had a guest. Judging by your attire, I take it you're a botanist as well? Is this botanist attire? I guess so. I mean, I tried to make it look sort of botanisty. Well, I mean, it's just the one set. The free spirit set? Whatever it's called. The voiceover set. And I guess that kind of ties in with nature and all of that. Sure. I am sorry, but our situation is unchanged. I'm afraid there are no botanists at present who can assist with your story. I won't make a burden of myself, I promise. I just need them to answer a few questions in their spare time. What about this adventurer here? She looks like a capable sort. Komoi? Well, she certainly is one of our best. But first things first. Allow me to introduce you to Murilla. We've heard Murilla before. Except this might be like a sister or something. A reporter for the Raven. She's planning a series of articles for which she requests our guild's cooperation. It's not like the same character, right? I'm pretty sure not. The Murilla we know from like events and stuff is. It's probably a different Murilla. At least I think she's from events. Specifically, she would like to follow the doings of a first-rate botanist for an indefinite period of time. Alas, none among us who meets her stringent requirements can afford to engage her at present. None save for perhaps you, Komoi. Oh, my salvation is come, and her name is Komoi. What exciting adventures into botany will she take me on, I wonder? As to that, we have received a petition for aid from faraway Ishgard. You'll recall our dear friend and colleague Gorgeloin. Yeah, we just dealt with him during the Carpenter stuff. Gorgeloin sees a lot of use, it's weird. He resides in the central highlands of Gortys. Well, a friend of his is struggling to raise crops in the Ishgardian frontier, and he begs us send a botanist to aid him. Okay, right, I guess a botanist doesn't just chop down trees, we also... Well, the main job is growing things, probably. So that's it. We'll pretend it's part of our pretend weapon crafting quest too. To create the wood that will eventually be part of our staff or something. We'll grow the staff homemade and chop it up as a carpenter with the skills we gathered there. And as an alchemist, create some kind of magical ethereal conductor which I'm sure is important for any magical staff, I guess. And then as a minor, the magical catalyst, we source that locally, or something like that. Who cares? I care. It doesn't matter. The Ishgardian Frontier? That sounds positively wild. I can already picture the title. Foreign Botanist at the Fore Frontier. I've got a good feeling about this. I'll go on ahead to Roitloin's place and ask him a few questions. She certainly wastes no time. Assuming you are willing to take on this task and bear with Muge. I think it's Muge. Please pay Roitloin a visit yourself, and have the particulars from him. I have no doubt that you will gain much from the experience. For good measure, here's a letter of introduction, and in case you have forgotten, Roitloin can be found at Sky Firelocks. Good luck to you, Komoy. We haven't forgotten. We're like Roitloin's best friend. Probably doesn't have many friends out there in the frontier. Okay, that's the same. We don't need a letter of introduction. We've talked to him like 5 times, or something. What kept you? I've long finished interviewing Roitloin. I've been expecting you, Komoy. Aye. Mistress Muja has told me everything, and rather more besides. A letter of introduction, because you don't know us? Well, actually it's weird, because he does know us. Why do we need a letter of introduction when he was part of the botanist questline up to level 50? While the penmanship used on the envelope is impeccable, the lettering is so tiny that a loop is required to make out that the letter is to be delivered to Roitloin. I was hoping for more explanation on why this exists in the first place. A letter of introduction, ever proper as Arvafucha. I guess she's just being proper. She scarcely needs one to vouch for your skill, my friend. As you will have been informed, the petition comes not from me, but a friend. Basile is his name, Basil Basile. And he is a botanist engaged in settling the Sea of Clouds. Right, yeah, I guess they do have that whole camp there, which is kind of just getting started. I mean, if I recall the lore correctly there, the knights over at Camp Dragonhead are just trying to set up camp there, or set up like a foot in the door, what would you call it? A cornerstone, something like that. That is where your task will take you, and for an extended period of time. Some years ago, House High in Art established an outpost there, and they seek to make the place self-sufficient. To this end, my friend has been attempting to cultivate various crops. The last results have been mixed at best, and that is where you come into the picture. Now I should like to send you along to Basile at once. Except Ishgard isn't accommodating foreigners. We must find a way to circumvent the bureaucracy. You are a guest of House Vortons, you say? Well then, your entry was not an issue from the first. However, I have doubts whether Mistress Muja will be permitted to accompany you. You needn't worry, I have ways of getting into places, and I will get into Ishgard. See if I don't. That is, well, I think. Now then, Basile has returned to the Holy See to meet with you. If it suits, I shall let him know to look for you in the Aetheryte Plaza. At the Aetheryte Plaza? Got it. I'll see you there, Komoy. I just realized we're super low on Gil. I forgot. Basile has returned to the Holy See to meet with you. I shall let him know to look for you at the Aetheryte Plaza. I'm wondering why Muja's involved in this questline. It feels like we could have just taken on this job with with just the introduction from Fucha and the mission from Royderloin, it seems like Musia's just here to add on some kind of extra perspective or something. She's not even directly involved, she's just like a reporter. Oh, you must be the botanist Royderloin sent. I must say, your retainer is quite a character. Yeah, she's our retainer. What took you so long? Your client's been waiting for the better part of a bell. Curious how I got into Ishgard, I shouldn't doubt. For now, let it suffice to say, if anyone asks, I'm your retainer. Right. Because retainers are allowed wherever their masters are, I guess. I mean, whenever we ring the bell inside the Forgotten Night, our retainer appears, so that canonically means that retainers are allowed wherever we're allowed, I guess. It is a pleasure to meet you, Komoy, and your lively retainer as well. I'm Basile. Thank you for making the long journey to Ishgard, though we still have some ways to go, to be sure. As I'm sure you've been told, I'm a botanist at Camp Cloudtop. We're heavily reliant on supplies being brought in by airship, but I'm trying to change that. Unfortunately, my ventures into farming haven't yielded the results I had hoped for. And so I reached out to Royderloin, who then reached out to your guild. I'll be turning your abundant knowledge and skilled hands both. Or turning to. In case you're wondering, I haven't any work for you just yet. Today's a meet and greet, as it were. When I've got a specific request, I'll send word by way of your trusty retainer. And a trustier retainer there's never been. I shall convey all your messages without delay. I'd be much obliged, miss. Now then, I'd best be getting back to my work. I look forward to seeing you again, most certainly at Camp Cloudtop. And as soon as he arrives, he'll send message, because we can take on the next quest immediately. I'll remain here in Ishgard and await word from Basile. Please come by whenever you can spare a moment from your busy schedule. And Basile has sent word. Perfect timing, Komoy. Word arrived from Basile not a moment ago. He has a task, and bids you come to Camp Cloudtop. Let us go at once. Well, it's a good thing we got some gil. But let's try to save on that if we can. For any teleportation fees we might have to do in a little bit. We can just take the airship there, it's free. All the contiguous connection points in Final Fantasy XIV have to be for free, so they can't, like, gate you out of this sort of thing. Even though most people don't have this problem with skill. Which one goes where? That's not the one we want. Well, there should be one that goes directly there. Oh, that one. We can, like, fly in ourselves, but they don't take us directly to the camp. And of course, going directly to the camp would be the Aetherite itself, but we're not using that. Even if it only costs, like, probably 200 gil or something. This place. Well, they're certainly growing these gourds, I guess. Seeds of hope sprout in the sea of clouds. What do you think? Pretty inspired, even if I do say so myself. Kind of lengthy. At least for an episode title, it wouldn't fit for my format. Well, I guess it would fit. It would just be... It would stretch very far across the thumbnail, I guess. My thanks for coming on such short notice. To begin with, I'd like to ask your advice on crops that would thrive in this environment. It's interesting that we're like the expert or whatever, even though we're only, at this point in the questline, level 50 and above. But I guess it's the same thing with the carpenter and the alchemist thing. Right now our principal crop is a strain of pumpkin, native to these isles. With some experimentation, we succeeded in cultivating it. Unfortunately, hardly anything else grows that's a viable food source. It has something to do with the ratio of wind to earth aspected ether up here. There's a much higher concentration of the former, you see, and hardly any of the latter. Gissel greens are just about the only other thing that has worked out, and these aren't the same as what we have in Cortis either. It may interest you to know that the seeds came to us from Gridania, from the Botanist Guild. Ortlein urged me to give them a try, and lo and behold, they cropped up like weeds. Strange thing to happen, eh? Or strange things do happen, eh? But in the end, Gissel greens are fit only for chocobos, and what little I'm managing to grow at the moment doesn't make up for the shortfall of supplies. If we're to keep feeding the garrison, we need to find more crops that grow, and set about growing them as soon as possible. Or soon we'll all be supping on bird fodder. And so I'd like to ask your opinion. In selecting a crop, what quality is the most critical? Well, they seem like both good answers. I guess elevation might be the better answer. I see. In that case, we might try a plant that's native to highland regions. Ah, that reminds me. The hunter I spoke with recently mentioned having seen wild onions in the Dravanian forelands. Cyclops onions, they're called, and I fancy our chances of cultivating them. If we succeed, they would make a welcome addition to our rations. I'd be grateful if you could gather them and bring me 10 bulbs. Okay. Cyclops onions. This won't require us buying anything from the market board, I hope. This whole quest line. This is the forelands, right? Yeah. Enter is to the left. Hopefully the only thing we spend gil on is going to be teleportation fees. And of course I could sell my tin sacks or whatever. Tin pieces, silver pieces, gold pieces. Just for teleportation fees, but I want to avoid that if I can. Oh, guess it'd be the other one. Cyclops onions are hidden, and they're actually over there. Wrong way. I just kind of assumed it'd be located more towards the center, but that makes sense. If only there was some way to turn off auto-sneak. It's not too hard to just press the button, but I prefer it off in most cases. And we need 10 of them. None here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And to do the thing that gives us more crystals. I don't really need the crystals though. Alright, there we go. So I think we want this, bring that up to 90, and also this, increase the amount we get per gather. So to Camp Cloud Top would probably be the same amount we spent to get here, like 300 or something. We don't have return for free. So the least costly option would be to use our favorite point over here for 150 and then take the airship back. There's no need to be this frugal, but we're trying to be self-sufficient or whatever. That's the theme. Using only the gil that we get from these quest completions. And spending no gil, or earning no gil from selling things. I guess we could sell the onions, which we got extra. But those probably don't sell for too much, not even enough for one teleportation. I imagine. Alright, she's on the same thing. Have you gathered the Cyclops onions? They can be found growing wild in the Dravonian forelands. And some to spare. My, they're far larger than I'd dared hope. My thanks, Komori. I shall try growing them in our test plot right away. A test plot, you say? That's right, miss. Before we grow something in earnest, we need to make certain that it won't be a detriment to the other crops. Maybe she's here so that there's someone to explain things to, so it doesn't feel like they're explaining things to you, the quote-unquote experienced botanist. Maybe. Though sustenance is important, so too is sustainability. If we don't think ahead, we're liable to damage the environment, and that would leave us with nothing. I see. Pioneers must be at once bold and cautious. A delicate balancing act. With that, I believe I have sufficient material for my first article. I'll go on back to Ishgard to send my notes to the chief editor. See you at the Adroit Plaza, Komori. My thanks for your advice, as well as the onions. When I have other tasks for you, I'll send word to your retainers as before. And we'll take the same way back, for free. I of course did this quest on my main character. I did botany, mining, and fishing on my main character all the way up to the current level. But I don't remember this quest too well. It's vaguely familiar. Just don't remember if there was anything like plot-wise other than growing things over in Camp Cloudtop. That might just be it. Glad tidings, Komori. The chief editor was utterly taken by my draft, and the first installment of my series will soon grace the Raven. Oh, unless you worry, I'll make sure to withhold names and locations. It's an Ishgardian outpost after all, and we can't well have such details known to all and sundry. Oh, but have a listen to this. Wait, is that like a secret? Like the Ishgardian outpost? So it was that the dilemma of a suitable crop was solved, thanks to the ingenuity of one humble botanist. Yeah, we're humble. It shall not be long ere the Azure frontier is blanketed in life-giving Cyclops onions. That's how I'm thanked to close the article. I see you're not entirely convinced that the dilemma is solved. Well, it practically is. Only I can't write practically. The statement would lose something for it. As before, I'll remain in Ishgard to await word from Basile. I'll look forward to the next task. We can sell 3 of these if we have to get something from the market board or otherwise teleport somewhere distant, I guess. And sell this too. 193. What's this do? Improving chances of enhanced gathering. Interesting. Locked behind the quest, no less. While the Whisperer traits grant you the ability to recognize hidden characteristics, some characteristics require the acquisition of further traits to uncover. Even then, the characteristics will not always be visible. Well, we should be able to see anything that's hidden, as long as we have the stats for it, I guess. And the trait, I guess. Oh, okay, yeah, there was a... This was always here, so it would have been great if I got this first, before I did the gathering in the previous episodes that required the hidden nodes. There is actually... Where is it? This. This was always here. It was always there, but I didn't have it unlocked until I did this quest, I guess. The one that lets us actually unlock the hidden nodes, yeah. Lets you avoid the random RNG, I guess. Ah, I was hoping you'd come by. Basal has another task for you. Just so you know, I won't be accompanying you from now on. While you go about your gathering, I have a mind to do some gathering of my own, for information here in the Holy See. Having said that, I will require a report from you afterwards, so be sure to remember all the juicy details. Now off you go, to Camp Cloudtop. She's actually an international spy, here under the cover of being our quote-unquote retainer, but she circumvented all of the usual border checking procedures, and she's actually here to spy on the Holy See, or something. How are the onions coming? My thanks for your help the other day, Komoy. I'm pleased to report that the Cyclops onions are coming along nicely. That was fast. This time, I need your help to maintain soil quality. As you know, soil gradually becomes barren with continued cultivation. In order to keep it fertile, we normally grow crops of the bean family at regular intervals. Alas, such beans as we have here in Heavensward refuse to grow here. Unless we do something, I fear the soil will cease to yield crops altogether. Is there aught you can suggest? Seeds from the Botanist Guild, growing a Gridonian variety of beans. I guess this is going to be like the same answer no matter what, they're like segueing to the same thing. But this is probably like more along the lines of what he's saying. But of course, we've managed to grow gristle greens from Gridonian seeds. Perhaps this success can be repeated with beans. I'm sorry to trouble you, Komoy, but could you please travel to Gridonia and consult with Huta? If anybody knows a strain of beans to suit our needs, it will be she. It seems to be a pretty straightforward botanist questline. The alchemy one was a fun tangent. You became an investigator, assisting with the, like a consulting alchemist assisting with the investigation. There it is. And for the carpenter one, I guess that was a straightforward carpenter thing, but you were helping out someone's story like unrelated to carpentry, like their story of following in their father's footsteps or something. This one you're helping out like a fellow botanist, so it's all 100% botany, I guess. If it isn't the toast of the guild. I've read all about your recent exploits in the Raven. Wow, they publish fast. You've been away only a short while, and already you've achieved so much. We, all of us here, are very proud of you. Beans. Oh, embellished? Well, I suppose that is simply the way of Musia's profession. Okay, we weren't talking about the beans, we were talking about how things are still going there. And though her words may have been flowery, I choose to believe that they are firmly rooted in truth. Okay, I guess it's not 100% botany, as long as Musia's here. She's like adding on some extra stuff that's about... I don't know how it fits in thematically, but I guess it's about... I don't know. How does this relate to anything, like, other than just being extra flavor? And I don't mind the extra flavor, but I feel like it's meant to be in some way, thematically consistent with the botanist stuff. But as far as I can tell, it's just reporter stuff. I don't know. Maybe it'll come together later. In any case, all seems to be well with you, and for that I'm glad. Now then, was there something you wish to talk about? Beans. Cover crops for revitalizing soil, and those that will grow in the sea of clouds besides. This is a difficult order to fill. From my experience, I would say that Shroud Vetch would be best suited. Even so, it is not entirely ideal. Nay, it must be crossed with a Highland strain to create what Basile needs. Now, rather than crossing strains haphazardly, I suggest you seek the counsel of a specialist, that is, an Ishgardian native versed in local flora. Show him this bundle of Shroud Vetch, and he should be able to provide you with the name of a suitable match. As to where you might find such an individual, I dare say Musia will be the best person to ask. It is her business to know people, after all. Okay. Saving money where we can, using return as soon as the The cooldown is done. We don't really have to be saving the money this way, it's just a fun little game to do when I'm so low on gil, I guess. To see where the breaking point is and I actually have to start spending money on market board stuff or something. Fufucha suggested that you come to me. Oh, she's a sharp one. Indeed, it's my business to know people, and I happen to know just the person you're looking for. Martineau is his name, and he's no less than the foremost herbalist in all of Ishgard. I'll arrange a meeting right away. Actually, I wonder if it's appropriate to intervene in the doings of my subject. Never mind the details. They're the bane of a good story. I'll have Martineau come and meet you in St. Raymonard's Cathedral. Off you go, Kamoi. Off we go. As long as this quest doesn't take us anywhere near the Convictory or whatever, I think we should be fine. Does any of this change after all of that, what was it? Scholasticate stuff? No. It sounds like... yeah, this is all just... well, actually, No, this did change for the end of the Heavensward questline, because now she's saying that she's a target for people's anger. But it didn't change after the Scholasticate stuff, because it probably would have turned around a little bit. Like, people's opinions, I think. Or at least she's not even mentioning anything that happened during the Scholasticate questline. You are the botanist who wished to speak with me? You certainly appear capable, as your frenetic friend led me to believe. I always enjoy the chance to engage with fellow lovers of nature, and being a researcher, I welcome the insights of gatherers like your good self. But come, I'm given to understand you seek advice on crossing strains of beans. For centuries, farmers on the northern fringes of the Black Shroud, as well as the Corsus lowlands, have planted this hardy flower in early spring as a cover crop to increase soil fertility. Centuries. I had always held the Botanist Guild in the highest regard. Seeing such fine specimens serves to reaffirm that sentiment. As Mistress Fufuta has already concluded, the Shroud Vetch will not prosper in the Sea of Clouds. It must needs be crossed with another strain to bring out its resilience. I would recommend Emerald Beans, a rare strain which grows in the Turning Mist. For your purposes, you will need perhaps 10 handfuls. And with that, I trust you now know what is required. Should you have further questions, do not hesitate to seek me out again. Question: do you have flavor text? No, he doesn't. Just a repeat. Oh, let's actually see where it is first. And this is actually a bad time, because I removed my, my favored waypoint here, so it's gonna cost more money. But I guess we have 2,000 gil, it's fine. So Emerald Beans, and... guess we're at level 55, so it should be... there it is. We don't have the hidden node thing yet. And I guess that's fine. 429 and the same. Things on the same map tend to be the same amount, I guess they're always the same amount to teleport to. At least they don't split hairs on that distance. Generally speaking, the cost for traveling to and from an Aetheroid is the physical distance it takes to actually travel there, like on foot. So if there's like some teleportation or something that you can get from place A to place B through like an airship or whatever, like from Foundation to over here, even though that's a large physical distance in lore or whatever, it doesn't cost that much to teleport that distance since the player doesn't have to travel that far. At least I think that's the rule. Where are we going? And it's the blue ones. And a hidden node. Only need 10 of them. We can spend as much GP as we have to though, since it'll all recover by the time we get through the dialogue. And do the next part of the quest. None here. Just give me some of this, I guess. Actually, I guess using the other skill would be more beneficial. The one that gives us a random amount. Because that random amount tends to be a lot more than this amount. The two stack together, but if I had to choose one... Okay, so this one. And I guess this one. Return's not ready. So the cheapest would be back to Ishgard and riding over. Eventually I am going to have to sell something. Might be this episode, might be next episode. But we'll just see how long we can go without selling anything. I guess to keep this one spot barren, like the actual open world. If you were never to do this quest, this would just be like this one barren spot that looks sort of weird. But they keep it barren for this one quest line, and I'm assuming this quest is going to forever change the landscape of this part of the world in just this one corner here. Presumably the crops are going to grow out of this by the end. It's fun to think about it in that sort of sense that there are certain quests that change the landscape of the world, and maybe it'd be interesting to only take on the quests that like change the world in that way, or something. Just so that you have like the quote-unquote complete version of the world. At least physically, visually, or whatever. I'm the only one that cares about that sort of thing though, I guess. Miss Musia tells me you've managed to get Master Martineau's advice, even though he's notoriously elusive. You truly are dedicated to our cause, my friend. Have some beans. Ah, so these are the emerald beans. If I understand correctly, the plan is to cross these with Shroud Venge. Do you have the ladder as well? We do. Marvelous. My thanks, Gomoy. I shall set about cross-pollinating them at once. The process will require considerable time and effort. Yeah, probably 30 Eorzean minutes. But I'm confident that it will be worthwhile in the end. Ah, but before I forget, Miss Musia left a message for you. She bids you come and meet her at the Aetheryte Plaza in Ishgard. And we'll be back in 30 Eorzean minutes, or so. I like this glamour well enough. I mean, it's like the right look for botanists, I think. But it's a little too simple, isn't it? It's just like the peace lover attire, that's it. There's no mixing and matching to create some new look. But I guess I'm fine with this for now. We don't exactly have the guild to create an entirely new glamour. At least not for botanist. Welcome back, Amoy, and good work. Not only did you help Asal solve another problem, you served as a bridge connecting the people of Gridania and Ishgard. In case you're wondering, I've already sent off the draft for the second installment in my series. It's bound to be as successful as the first, and there's not a hint of fabrication in there. Embellishments, certainly, but no fabrication. 2 nations, 1 seed. Okay, that kind of fits in better for my purposes as a title. I'm thinking I might use one of Musia's titles as my episode title. But I'm not sure this 2 nations, 1 seed exactly covers the entire storyline we're doing here. That's the title I have in mind. Simple but powerful, even if I do say so myself. Of course, my story is secondary to all your hard work. The Saw's crops are coming along well, and it's in no small part due to your efforts. For his sake, please keep it up. And I'm going to assume his efforts bore fruit. Right around now. Komoi, I've received word from Basile. He has 2 pieces of news to share with you, one good, one bad. To begin with the good, he succeeded in cross-pollinating the 2 varieties of beans he brought with him. A new, more resilient strain is on its way. As for the bad, the vermin population has fairly exploded, most likely due to the rapid reclamation, and they're threatening the crops. Unless the pests are dealt with, they'll undo all of Basile's hard work. Please hurry to Camp Cloudtop at once, and see how you can be of help. Okay. Generally speaking, no flavor in this quest line. Everyone's just been repeating the exact same thing that they said in the last part of their dialogue. Two more quests to go. It seems like it might be as simple as just going to some area and gathering things. One of these quests might introduce the wrinkle of having to do the time thing, waiting until the right time to get a special note or something. It's awful, Komoi. Just awful. Our crops are coming along so well, but now a plague of vermin is threatening to destroy it all. An alchemical concoction would deal with them quickly enough. We're something of an alchemist too ourselves. Or wait, no. The line would be, what's the meme? You know, I think it's you know. I'm something of an alchemist too, you know, I think. But it's like to harm all the creatures, or all creatures indiscriminately. And this would be a problem. Why? No, I understand. What's more, there's no telling what other effects it might have on the environment. If at all possible, I'd like to protect our crops without resorting to such extreme measures, but I don't know how to go about it. You've spoken with Master Martineau before. Do you think you could seek him out again, and trouble him for advice with regard to our dilemma? Yeah, just a repeat, basically. Let's actually teleport this time. I'm getting tired of walking back and forth. It's only going to cost, like, barely anything. We have the money for it. You look troubled, my friend. Is something the matter? Though your friend's concern for nature is touching, extreme circumstances call for extreme measures. That's what I'm saying. Bring out the alchemical concoctions, kill them all. Were I in his shoes, I wouldn't rule out an alchemical concoction. But tell me, what are your own thoughts on this? We're alchemists. We want to kill them. But, we don't have that option. Avoid damaging the environment, okay. So you are determined to place nature first. I respect that. Very well. I will share with you my knowledge. When dry distilled, birch bark yields a tar which possesses vermin-repelling properties. 'Tis a trait the tree developed to protect itself from pests. You would do well to gather birch logs at the same place the vermin inhabit, namely the Sea of Clouds. 10 pieces should suffice to begin with. Okay, it's actually good that we're going back there. It shouldn't cost too much to travel there. And actually it should be over here, shouldn't it? We're vaguely following the, well, for a reason. We're following the progression of the areas that we unlocked during the main Heavensward story. Because that would be the same progression for the levels of the gathering nodes. But where actually are they? would be the other one. And would be up to level, yeah, here. Okay, we can do the hidden nodes now. Oh, it's actually over there. Thought it'd be like in the higher level area up to the north. Quite a distance to travel. Now, it doesn't seem like this plot is going to have any additional wrinkles. Just a reporter and just growing things in the Sea of Clouds. A pretty simple one. Pretty simple story. I don't remember the minor questline though. Well, I guess I didn't remember this one in the first place. Maybe that one's going to be straightforward too. I don't recall if it takes us over to Ishgard though. Alright, I think we're in the right area. Should be able to use this skill now. It's not available, so reveal the node. Oh no. Wait, this isn't... Is this the right tree? It's not a birch tree. No, it is the right... Okay, so it does count. Well, let's get rid of this then. Is this birch? I guess it's got some kind of crystal fungus growing on it or something. I guess revealing the hidden nodes only reveals a hidden node or something. And it can be that dragon skin map or whatever. If I get rid of that, does that get rid of it like from subsequent nodes? I still don't know. I guess if I see it again I can try. Alright, reveal node. Damn, get out of here. I usually get rid of these nodes in case I have to like loop back in and like re-roll them. But I'm pretty sure we can get by without having to do that. Okay, there we go. And we can't afford the other thing. And I can't use one of my cordials. If I leave this, does the hidden node stay shown? No, it's probably fine. What does this do again? Oh, that increases the amount that we get from the extra thing. And we have a 60%, so I think that should be fine. Let's just kind of play this by ear, though. Come on, give us one. Okay, there's one. So yeah, that increased it by 1. So if we get this 2 more times, which is a 60% times 60%, we'll get it. Damn, we didn't get it. Just short. Not because I didn't have the GP for it. Oh right, it's only going to show the closest one. That's also another reason for getting rid of the nodes. So that your ability points to the actual closest one that you're looking for. Okay, maybe I'll just get rid of that one. Where to? Down there. Alright, we have just enough GP for another run of the hidden node thing. We don't need it though. Alright, we're good. No wait, we're in the right area. Let's just teleport over. Have you found a way to protect our crops? Wood. To think that such a method existed. I'll begin extracting tar from these logs at once. Once again, I'm in your debt. I don't know what I would have done without you, and the thought of it shames me. Here I am, professing to put nature first, yet I was powerless in the face of this trial. When I mentioned my plight to Mistress Musia, she was very worried for me. She even offered to help in any way she could. Please pass along my thanks to her as well. Thought she was trying to be hands-off or something, as a reporter. No outside help. We're trying to be completely self-sustaining, except we are getting outside help. This way. I turned around for a second there. Welcome back, Komori. Another day, another job well done, I shouldn't doubt. Oh, Basile sends his thanks, you say. Well, as passionate as downright infectious as is yours, you can't help but want to help. And lest you worry, I don't allow sentiment to color my articles. Nay, I tell it as it is, and this time, it's about respecting nature. Here's a choice passage from my draft. In that moment, a warm sensation swept over me, and I knew it for pride. The pride that, in this faraway land, the Gridanian love for harmony has taken root. I don't know, it sounds kind of nationalist or something. Not that I really care. That sounds sentimental, you say? Ah, but see, I'm simply giving voice to what all Forestborn will be feeling. A small but distinct difference. At any rate, I've got another promising addition to my series, and it's all thanks to you. Keep up the good work. At least she knows her audience, I guess. And the last quest. Will this take us to some gathering node that's only active during some time of the day? We'll find out. Hello there, Komori. Come for a task, have you? Well, aren't we enthusiastic? Which makes me feel all the more sorry to disappoint. There's been no word from Basile, I'm afraid. You're kidding. It's been an entire 10 Eorzean minutes. Okay, as expected. Oh, speak of the devil. He's calling my link pearl right now. If you'd excuse me a moment. Basile? Yes, this is Muja. How fare you? What? The terrible news, Komori. Basile has gotten into trouble with the vault. It seems my articles were brought to the attention of some dignitaries, and they're taking issue with his recent ventures. Okay. Now things are getting interesting. This is like involving things other than just the botany and reporting on the botany. I made certain to withhold details pertaining to security, so it's not a question of leaked intelligence at the very least. To hear Basile tell it, he's just a hapless pawn in the game between the nobles. 'Twas House Mile that alerted the vault to his alleged misdeeds. A petty blow against House Hyanart. But however it happened, Basile is in trouble, and we must help him. Could you please go to him and ask after the details? I'll explore all possible avenues of aid in the meantime. What a weird wrinkle right at the very end. We're getting in trouble with the court. No wait, I guess we're going... Oh wait, we are going to Camp Cloudtop. Thought it was actually like at court or something over here. Right in time for the sunrise, in case the actual finale cutscene or whatever is out in the open. It might be indoors, but if it is, it's good that we're gonna have this lighting. My thanks for coming, Komori. To put it simply, the Vault isn't pleased with the cooperation I've received from the Botanist Guild. Yeah, taking outside help. We're trying to be self-sufficient here. I guess that really is the theme. It's weird. And now they've sent representatives to convey their displeasure. Father Obelert and Sir... Ishgardian names, I swear. Albiralt, Father Albiralt, and Sir Vanktorix. Vanktoroy Obiralt and Victoroi. I hope we never have to say those again. I take it you're the foreigner with whom the accused has been consorting. Botanist Basile, it has come to our attention that you have been using your position of privilege to sow aberrant seeds upon Ishgardian soil. They're just seeds. Know that your transgressions have sparked an uproar in the vault. So dismayed was Father Obiralt that he was prompted to make the long journey to this outpost, that he might impress upon you the graveness of the matter. What are they, heretical seeds? Presently, there exist 2 varieties of foliage plants called Gissel Greens. However, only one of them is worthy of the name, that which is native to Cortes. The other originates from the Near East, and it is a pretender. Wow, heretical crops, incredible. On account of the ignorance of the masses, however, it usurped the honored name of Gissel, we proud Ishgardians. Or to we proud Ishgardians, it was, and shall ever be, a different plant. We know and accept no Gissel Green, save for that which the Fury has seen fit to bless us. It is a question of honor, and you have besmirched that honor by growing the foreign pretender upon Ishgardian soil. Such are the charges against you. If you would protest them, know that words alone shan't suffice. Nay, you must needs present us with conclusive proof of your innocence. Just when you thought the church couldn't get any worse. Why are they involving themselves in this kind of affair? Why do they even know this history about the Gissel Greens or whatever? I think they'd be more interested in the histories of, like, the dragons and the war and everything. But apparently this is an important part of the history books. How weird. We shall wait yonder, but know that we'll not wait long. If you cannot produce the proof, you'd best prepare yourself for trial by combat. Yeah, they do so love their trials by combat. Trial by combat? He might as well throw me off the island right now. We'll be your champion, don't worry, we've done this before. And I was only acting in our nation's best interests. It seems I have no choice but to try and prove my innocence. But how? The seeds I used came from the Botanist Guild. Besides going there, I don't know what else to do. Could you please consult with Futra in my stead? And back here. We're up to around 7,000 gil, so I think we're good to just teleport wherever we want. We were successfully self-sufficient on the guild side. What? I know that the Ishgardians can be hard-headed, but this beggars belief. To force their own notion of honor upon nature. Ridiculous doesn't even begin to describe it, I know. Well, the folly of it all notwithstanding, you will be pleased to know that we can clear Basile's name. The truth is, the Gissel Greens we gave him are of the Corthan variety. The first botanist of a few generations past brought the plants back to Gridania, and we have been cultivating them here ever since. And that is not all. Research has proven that much of the Gissel Greens presently grown in Ishgard are in fact Near Eastern. How heretical. To wit, the plants under scrutiny are far closer to the true Gissel the Ishgardians so revere. So much for their accusations. Here, take this bunch of greens with you. Tis the self same as that which Basile has been cultivating, an improved strain of Gissel greens, found throughout the wilds of Cortes. An expert would be able to identify its Corthan origin at a glance. The problem will be convincing the priest of this fact. You are acquainted with the herbalist Martineau? Then that should simplify matters. I suggest you harvest some Gissel greens, and present them, and the Great Loam strain, to him for comparison. Search in relatively unbeaten parts of the Western Highlands. 'Tis in such areas that you are like to find the purest specimens. 3 bunches should suffice for your purposes. Once you have enough, pray go to Martineau and have him insect them. Good luck to you, Kamoy. Okay, hang on. That sounds like if we only need 3 of them. Chisel greens. Probably here. Chisel, chisel, chisel. Yeah, it's a question mark node. It's timed. So I guess we can look this up real quick. On the old wiki page, what time this actually spawns in. And we'll just buy it from the market board if we actually can't get it within a reasonable amount of time. We're not going to sit here and wait. (8 a.m/p.m. Oh hey, that's the right time. Coordinates are 8.7 by 10.4. Oh god damn it, it's over here. In this place, where there's barely any aetherites. Well, let's just start the teleport. It's actually, wait, 8.7 by 10.4... Yeah, it's actually way closer to here. Hopefully it's still active around 9 a.m. I think we'll get there in time. Alright, this worked out perfectly. We were completely self-sufficient until the very end. Didn't have to use the market board or sell anything or whatever. I mean, I guess we used some gil at the very beginning to teleport here, but then we made that gil back and then some, so it still counts. It's not like being self-sufficient means you have to start from literally nothing. Where is this thing? Wait, hang on. Am I doing this wrong? 8.7, 10.4. Unspoiled lush vegetation. At the twin pools. 8.7... Yeah, just right here. But it's not here. Would be right here. It should be right here. Okay, let's try another wiki page, I guess. Hang on. I think this one would be wrong, though. 8:15 a.m.? Well, I mean, it's not like it despawned, right? Oh, you have to be on your home world. Well, crap. I didn't know that's how that worked. Well, we could have been self-sufficient. We're gonna cheat a little bit. Who cares? It's the church. We don't have to prove anything to them. At least I think I'm gonna cheat. I hope it doesn't actually cost that much to get from the market board. Otherwise, we'll have to quickly go back to our home world. While it's still around the time that it spawns in. I mean, they're very easy to gather. It's like once every 24 Eorzean hours. Surely they're not going to be that much. Yeah, okay. It's not that much, but Okay, I guess this is our cheapest option, even though they're higher in price. It's just 800 times 3. Well, we still use the gil that we earned from the quests. And not a dime more, or whatever. Once again you come to me with a troubled look. Tell me of your plight, and we shall see if my knowledge may avail you. Well, if these aren't chisel greens, you have done well to find these, rare as they are. Yeah, find them. They're so rare. And you have something else to show me, you say? I have seen many a head of Gisselgreens in my time. This specimen can be considered royalty among them. Well, I am thoroughly impressed. What is it exactly you would have me do? Look at them, compare them. Do you notice anything? So that is the way of it. I am ashamed to call those zealots my countrymen. But come, let us compare the greens you brought. Though their outer leaves differ, their cores are identical in hue, and structure both. There can be no doubting that these two specimens belong to the same family of foliage plants. I shall record these findings in a missive for you to use as a testimony. There is no need for thanks. As a man of science, 'tis reward enough that I can do my part to prove those old fossils of the Holy See wrong. Wow, science versus religion. It ended up being that in the botanist questline at the very end. Alright, let's just teleport there. I should maybe save some money for the mining questline though, in case that requires a lot of teleporting. He is clearly unrepentant, your holiness. To plant foreign seeds upon Ishgardian soil, such thoughtlessness cannot be borne. What a weird mindset. I can't imagine it. It's just seeds. Have you found a way to refute the accusations against me? Please tell me you have. It'd be one thing if it was like harming the environment like an invasive species, but they don't care about that thing whatsoever. These appear to be Gisselgreens, but it's not a variety I'm familiar with. Wherever did you get this from? Forgive me if I'm being obtuse, but the greens you brought, I'm not quite sure how they will prove my innocence. Great Loam Gisselgreens, grown under the strict supervision of the Great Loam Growery's finest botanists. The leaves on this particular bunch of greens are almost twice the size of those seen in local markets and fodder shops. And Martineau's findings. Report written by the herbalist Martineau. Nothing fun in this flavor, not really. Yet another kind of greens and a missive. This is truly the way of it. By the Fury, I must show these findings to Father Abiralt at once. All the Gisselgreens found in Ishgard are the Near Eastern variety, you say? That is a most outrageous claim. Utterly ridiculous. What proof have you of this? Well, look at this piece of paper. My lords, please look upon these two bunches of greens. One is the Gissel accused of being foreign, and the other is the wild Gissel found in Corthus. Master Martineau, the Holy See's foremost herbalist, testifies that these two greens belong to the same family of foliage plants, and he's not lying. You can trust a piece of paper. 'Tis a small wonder, then, that the foreign variety has so thrived here. For it wasn't foreign at all. Nay, my lords, it was very much at home. Master Martineau further goes on to write thus. Seeds are born from one end of the realm to another, by all creatures great and small. No matter how tightly sealed, gates will do naught to hinder their spread. Are you ridiculing our nation's policy? Yeah, we are. I wouldn't dream of it, Sir Vanctrono, or Vanctoroi, I guess. Sir Vanctoroi. I only wish to draw your attention to a time in the past, before Ishgard closed her gates to the outside world. Over a century ago, Near Eastern Gisselgreens were brought over to Eorzea. Thanks to its hardiness, it thrived in our realm, becoming so ubiquitous that it displaced many indigenous species. Species such as the Coerthan Gissel, which fairly disappeared. And indeed it would have, had the Botanist Guild not continued cultivating it as a strain suited to cooler lands. These chisel greens found a new home in a faraway Gridania, and now they have found their way back home, to Ishgard. Seeds know no borders. They will sprout wheresoever the earth embraces them. In this manner, Master Martineau ends his missive. Okay, Master Martineau came up with a better title than the Musia did. As the matter was still undecided, I thought it best to withhold this fact, but I had received a package from Mistress Fufuta of the Botanist Guild. Contained within were seeds beyond counting, along with this message. May they provide for your children and theirs after them, for 1,000 years to come. Never in all my years have I felt so humbled. Our own people would do well to learn from this magnanimous gesture. Father, surely you cannot mean to withdraw the accusations. The Gisselgreens in question were of course in stock all along. Our accusations were unfounded from the first. The matter is settled. Botanist Basile, it seems we have been less tolerant than was warranted. Upon my word, none shall question your deeds or motives again. Pray carry on as you have, in the name of our nation. I guess there is some importance, like he mentioned, like Basile mentioned, to the protection of the borders or whatever. Like the whole crops being displaced thing. It did threaten that crop to extinction, and only the Botanist Guild in Gridania saved it. And I guess that's sort of reflected in the Ishgardian policy, but I guess the idea here is that the Ishgardian policy sort of doesn't take into account why it exists in the first place, like why they're reclusive and closing their borders. That all happened for a reason, like an ostensibly reasonable, utilitarian reason, closing off their borders and all that. But then they take it too far with like heretical stuff and zealotry and all that. It's like a balance, I guess. It's interesting. At least it's interesting to me. Without your help, I'd most certainly be a dead man. Thank you, Komoi. Thank you 1,000 times over. You've done so much for us already. I couldn't ask any more of you. From here on, we'll endeavor to get by on our own. And who knows? If we work hard enough, one day we may even win over Sir Vanctoroy. Now I suspect that Miss Musia will be beside herself with worry. Please be sure to let her know that all is well. Once again, thank you, Komoi, for everything. No, I used her turn already. Okay, this ended up being pretty interesting at the very end after all. It was just like that one quest at the very end that really stole the show, but I guess the rest of it was build-up. It makes sense. All of this happened, but that I've been there to see it all. And seeds know no borders. Yeah, I know. I reckon I have the title for the final installment. Make no mistake, this clash between religion and reason will make for a truly compelling reading. Clash between religion and reading, or religion and reason, is also a good title. But yeah, the seed bit is more appropriate. But I jest. I've got more sense than to invite more controversy than I already have. The article will focus on Basile's tireless efforts, and the fruit born of the cooperation between botanists. With that, everything will be wrapped up in a neat little package. Speaking of packages, what that it didn't cost an arm and a leg to send those seeds. Now I've got nothing to show for my hard work. Well, what I said just now, you mustn't tell anyone. I wanted to make amends for all the trouble I've caused. You see, and so I sent the seeds in Fufuta's name. I'm glad to hear that they were of some help to Basile. Okay, so she cheated in the end a little bit too, like we did. Not entirely self-sufficient. It's fine. A little bit of cheating is fine. And with matters settled, our work here is done. You've been the best of subjects, Komori. Without a doubt, this has been the most fulfilling story I've ever written, and I couldn't have written it without you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Oh, I've left your reward in Fufucha's keeping. Please have it from her when you go to make your report, as I'm sure you will. Damn, one more teleport? I can't believe it. And with this we have around 2,800 gil to spend on the mining questline. Hopefully not a whole lot of teleportation there too. Or buying things from market boards. I'm glad to hear that it ended well, and you will be glad to hear that Musia's latest article is the talk of the town. Inspired by the tale, many souls have come knocking upon our door, those who harbor the dream of becoming a botanist for the first time, as well as those who had once abandoned that dream. The guild is livelier for their presence. In the midst of all this activity, a peculiar missive arrived from Mishgard, thanking me and the guild for our donation. I haven't the faintest inkling what this is about. A bashful philanthropist, our secret. 'Tis a bashful philanthropist indeed who does good deeds in someone else's name. I hope to one day get the chance to thank this person. And speaking of thanks, I have something for you. Your reward from Musia, doubtless hard-earned, and 'tis plain from your bearing that you have grown much for your experience. Promise me that you will continue employing your knowledge and skills in service to man and nature both. Okay, great. And with that done, I guess we can pretend that Komori has enough experience in the art of botany to forge the wood she needs for her super weapon, or something. I don't know how this experience helps Komori cultivate a wood that's suitable for a super weapon staff or whatever, but it's fine. We're just pretending. Now would be a good time to take a break.